रितिका अपने प्रीव्यू के स्क्रीन में मुझे गुड मॉर्निंग, नमस्ते, सत श्री अकाल, वणक्कम to all my friends out there. You know, we are really happy to have one more session on Leaders Talk today. कहते हैं किसी भी आदमी को अगर आप मिलो तो उसके अंदर दुनिया भर की लाइब्रेरी छुपी होती है. It's said that a book contains many stories. A library has infinite number of books. But if you meet a person, you will have innumerable, countless stories filled with emotions. And today we are sitting across one such library repository of emotions and stories, Mr. Shyam Gupta. Shyam has joined Shoppers Stop as in our buying and merchandising department at a very responsible position and has managed to contribute to turn around the story in both private brands. So we now look forward to understand how Shyam's life has been, what are some of the life lessons that he has got, and of course, help us inspire to take a leaf from his life and go back and apply from those learnings. So Shyam, welcome to this Leaders Talk. We're really happy to have you today, and we really look forward to understand what the Shyam Gupta is, the real Shyam Gupta behind the designations. Over to you, Shyam.
Thank you, Saurabh, and good morning, everyone. It's a good sunny weather out here in Mumbai, and thanks for the lovely introduction, Saurabh. I think you have a good Shire hidden inside you. I have always seen in these forums, and kudos to that Shire hidden in you. So yeah, I would say I am feeling privileged to come to this platform to share some insights and experiences, maybe thoughts which I believe can make some positive impact to the audience. And I'm sure I would be able to give you some thoughts which you can ponder upon, do some introspection, some retrospection, and I believe that they will help you realize some new dimensions in your life. Now, this session is all about sharing life's experiences, the struggles, the challenges, but just want to take a moment in defining what really the life is. So what I feel, the life is transcendental, life is existential. It offers so many opportunities, dimensions, possibilities to each and every human being. But I think we as human beings fail to understand or fail to ask a question to ourselves that are we prepared enough to take cognizant and are we conscious enough, and that consciousness should be uncoupled so that every opportunity that comes our way or every moment of our lives looks like an opportunity to us. So I would say an act of failure is also counted as an opportunity because it brings with itself some wisdom, and it helps you prepare to do better in your life journey further. So what I feel is that every action is good and action is never wrong or your work is never wrong. What matters to me and what should matter actually is the intent behind that action. So if we have our intent right, if we have pulled our intent right, and then it's a we should always be looking at a brighter side, I must say. So it's never the action or our work which is wrong. Our intent should be correct, and there should be complete fearlessness and conviction in achieving and pursuing our dreams, and then I think everything becomes secondary. So it's a well-known saying that every cloud has a silver lining, and we should actually be looking towards brighter side of our lives always. We should not be fearing about what others will think, what will happen. We should not be dreaming about future. We should just concentrate on the present moment that we have in our hands. And one lesson that I have learned so far is we should never try to become successful. We should always try to become skillful, and success is one thing which will eventually follow you. So we should always be focusing in developing these skills, laying a good foundation, and the foundation should be strong enough, robust enough that we are able to construct any masterpiece at any stage of our lives later. I think what I have myself seen, I have also had challenges in life, and everyone do have. But and one fails, one fall. But I think with that fall and failure comes a new dimension, new wisdom, new learning to your life, which helps you move further, opens new horizons into your journey. So we should not be shying away from doing any work just for the fear of failure. So all these challenging times, all these difficult times will pass away if we have the perseverance and resilience inside us, and we can actually do what we are aspiring to do in our life. Just quoting some incidences from my professional journey, it has taught me that the quest for knowledge and passion are some important seeds to ensure success in longer run. So when I started my journey, my professional journey in the industry with an export house, after just few months, I was told that I have to work in field, and which was never a part of the, I should say, the hiring process or the job profile that was offered to me. So I actually could have felt frustrated that what am I doing? Why should I spend my time away from comfort? And why should I remain in field? Why me? Why chosen me? But no, I concentrated and I actually decided otherwise. I said that it's a good opportunity coming my way, and I should focus on building some learnings and some skills which will be very personal to me and which will remain for me with me forever. So I started devoting a lot of time, which was actually not required also given my job profile and the requirements from my job. With the I started engaging myself with the professionals which are working at the shop floor, knitting technicians. I'm talking of my domain, my area, with the process house people, and these engaging discussions enriched me a lot and gave me really some good insights about the product domain, and my knowledge domain started increasing. So doing all this, I started laying a robust foundation, and it gave me a lot of confidence. And that confidence is actually required when stakes go higher, when we move up the ladder. So yeah, that was a time where I could have easily slipped away and felt frustrated, but I decided otherwise. Had it not been the hunger, the passion, I would not have gained the confidence. I would not have come actually the longer way that I have come so far. And still, it's a long way to go. And one moment I can recollect, it's been many years now. I slipped into I would say, Saurabh, I think
we are able to see you, Shyam. We are able to hear you as well. Right, there seems to be a small technical glitch. Just a moment. I'm going to add Shyam once again. Sorry for this inconvenience. We'll just have Shyam Gupta right away in a brief while joining us. All right, there seems to be some technical glitch. We'll get Shyam once again on the go, but so many good lessons to hear from Shyam, especially knowing that he comes from a different background and how he's going into the details, the intricacies of his own field without actually thinking of his own designation or anything. He went to the grassroots level and is trying to connect with everyone at that level. That's the real foundation. So one lesson which I learned so far from what Sham said is it's good to connect to the root always, because that's where the meat lies. That's where the merit and information truly lies. So we'll just stay put. We'll just connect with Sham in a while. We're trying to reach out to him. Give us a moment. And really sorry for this technical glitch. All right. So again, as we know, failures is a part and parcel of our life journey. There would be challenges, just as we are facing challenges as of now. But you know what? When I met Shyam for the first time, I remember this was in our services office. When I met Shyam, unlike many of the new joinees who actually hold them back and are very, very formal in their approach, Shyam actually opened out his heart. With the first moment, or the first go itself, he started speaking as if we know each other for a very long time. And he had no shield, no guard in front of himself. And I think that was one thing I really, really liked about Shyam. Very recently, we had this quiz, SQL quiz, and Shyam was one of the participants representing SO. And there as well, we found that Shyam has a completely humane side when he sang songs, when he cracked jokes. And if you interact with him, you'll notice that there's no shield that he carries. There's no wheel he carries. उसके सामने कोई पर्दा नहीं होता है. वो जो अंदर है, वही बाहर है. And I think that's a mark of a true professional, a good leader, that he or she knows that it's the same person. It's just a different role. And therefore, he comes across as someone who he can really inspire through his simplicity. I also remember that when we are talking of private brands, the latest thing that we have launched on learning management system, the videos that we have launched, all those videos, uh, Sham was the one who actually pushed us to get everyone together and said that we can do something for private brands over the video as well. I think that simplicity, that human side of Sham is something which will always stay with us. I think we have Sham online.
I,
Sham, hi.
I I'm so sorry. I beg my pardon. I'm so sorry. It was unfortunate. The battery conked off. I don't know why. Again, an IT issue,
No,
Saurabh. But I'm so sorry. I
perfectly all
just,
right. हमारा आपका कनेक्शन ऐसा ही बना रहे. Over to you, Sham.
yeah, I'm just switching on the video and with that
Sure,
background.
sure, sure. Yeah, we can see you, Sham.
Yeah, hope it's fine now.
Over to you. Absolutely fine, Sham. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what I was mentioning, it's been some of my life's experience or maybe challenges, I should say. And another incident that I was about to quote is there was a time, it's been many years now, but I think that challenging time, I should say, came as a brought a lot of effulgence to me, and from that day I have tried to come out as a different individual. So it was a time when there was a phase and a period of negativity, I should say, creeped inside me, and I started comparing myself with others, with my peers, and I started questioning myself. So obviously that is not a good sign, that leads you to nowhere. And it was really a trouble time where I lost my appetite, I lost my sleep, and my work started getting hampered. So, and it was just nothing, it was just a mental diarrhea, I would say, that I witnessed. So after few days of struggle, and I tried to gather all of my inner strength, all of the wisdom that I had earned during a small period, and I came out victorious from that. And since then, I realized that I think we should be free in our mind, we should be fearless, And comparison or questioning yourself is something which is very wrong, and it can do so much of damage to your personality, to your mental strength. So from that day I have learned that come what may, I will not be bogged down by anything, and I will just try to do whatever best I can. And in this journey of life, I will try never to stop actually. So the lesson I learned is that one should never get distracted from your purpose just by comparing yourself or questioning yourself or your actions or your deeds. The so I started laying a strong foundation so that I can construct any masterpiece after that at any stage of my life. So yeah, these were few incidences that made me a better individual that I am today. And had these not been there, so I think these learnings would not have come my way. And when I talk of learning, I think learning is something which should be a continuous exercise and one should never cease. We should never shy away in grabbing any opportunity to learn, and we should actually be flexible enough and open enough. So, and if we are doing that, we are flexible and open enough to learn anything, then I think there will be no dearth of opportunities that will come our way. But the important thing to be learned here is during the entire journey, during the entire walking of the path, we should actually not be thinking about the destination. It's all the journey that matters, because walking the path will give you many learnings and many experiences that will make you a better person, will refine your personality, and the wealth that you will create during the journey will be something that will remain with you forever. So never do these kind of mistakes where you are pushing yourself, you cease to stop your learning. And I think what I have also learned during this course of time is that one should always remain modest and humility should never vanish. And the connections that we build, which are very important, should be from a lens of relationship, I must say. But the mistake that people normally do is when they started taking the relationships for granted and stop nurturing them. So that is one important aspect that I have learned, that relationship building connections is very important, but we have to spend time to nurture those relationships. And then only it's a meaningful journey that we walk for our destination. So yeah, all these learnings, experiences, and have made me a better person. I'm not saying that the challenges don't exist. The impediments are not there in my life now, and I am not faced found myself in a precarious situation later on in my career, in my personal or professional life. But all these incidences helped me lay a foundation wherein I find myself in a position where these things are not affecting me. I'm just ignoring them and I'm just moving forward without looking back. So this is an important lesson to be learned, which I have learned from my life, that you should always be focused and never look back, and just build your inner faith, strength, and courage in a manner that every moment of your life will bring an opportunity to you. So another important thing, the motto that I follow in my life is that be your own hero first before you aspire to become one for others. And be vehement enough in pursuing your dream, in mastering your skills, that it becomes your forte. Having said this, I must say that one should be jack of all trades. One should have multiple skill sets, should be able to don multiple hats, but there is certain skill that one should develop which becomes a unique strength to them, and this is the uniqueness which will take you to places. So you should aspire to become a subject matter expert, develop some skill that is very personal to you, and you are being sought after for that skill. So this is something what I have learned, and that has really been something which I am counting now in my career, that one should be learning certain skills and mastering them in a manner that the uniqueness becomes your strength. So just to sum it up, I should say that I, never go with any existing ideologies in life, because going with any existing ideologies, if you're not challenging the status quo, will just limit your thought process to a particular domain, and you will not you will not realize new realms in your life. So my learning and my advice would be to break those fetters and try to conquer the unconquered by all the inner faith, self faith, courage, and the strength you have in yourself. So this is how I want to sum up my experience of
Thank
life
you.
so far in my personal and professional arena. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shyam. We definitely see a reflective leader over here. I think one of the biggest qualities that a leader should possess is the ability to learn, unlearn, and constantly learn through his or her own reflections. I think that one quality stands out really strong in you. Uh, we were also talking to our participants that how humane is a leader here called Shyam Gupta, who does not carry any wheel or a shield in front of him. I remember when we met for the first time. Since that moment, I've never seen anything being held back by you. You just spoke to me like a human being speaks to another, rather than a designation speaking to some other designation. So that's something which I really, really appreciate that we have today.
Yes,
Sam, we
thank you.
know you on the professional front now, but something about your personal life, who all is in your family, and maybe just tell us about where are you originally from and how did you come to Mumbai? What brings it home?
Okay, so yeah, interesting thing I must say. So my birthplace is Dehradun, which is part of Uttaranchal now. So
Mhm.
yes, starting years happened in Uttar Pradesh. We moved to Muzaffarnagar. My father started a business of his own there. So my entire schooling till 12th happened in Muzaffarnagar, which is closer to Meerut, the western part of the UP, I should say. Then father moved to Delhi and I went to my graduation. I did my BTech in textiles from Bhiwani TITNS. And so eventually life took me to Mumbai. I should say my brother plays a role in that because he was in Mumbai before I shifted and he was here from last 7, 8 years when I moved in. So yeah, 2008 was a time when export and the overall global economy was taking a beating and retail was booming in India. So again, as I said, I saw an opportunity and I joined Future Group then, and it was a long journey there also. So this is how Mumbai happened to me, and it's been 13 glorious years, I would say. I have been staying in
Wow.
Mumbai and trying to carve a place for myself, and I have been fortunate enough so far. By God's grace, I have achieved quite a lot, and I am thankful and grateful to him. But yes, it's still a long way to go, what I feel, because that
Yeah.
passion, that quest for achieving and learning is still not subsiding in me. So I see that as a positive. So yeah,
Certainly, certainly. I think what you mentioned right in the beginning of the conversation, that every cloud has a silver lining. I think that streak also we can see where you find or try to find opportunity even in the grimmest of the hours. And I also see that here's a person who's come from tier two, tier three city, all the way going through different cultures, and yet so open to embrace what comes his or her own way very happily.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
once you go back home, what keeps you occupied? Let's assume it's a Saturday, Sunday, आज छुट्टी का दिन है, आज कुछ नहीं करना. What keeps you occupied?
See, I have no kids. For unfortunately, we are not blessed with kids. So it's me and my wife at home, and our
Mhm,
parents also stay in Mumbai only, but they stay at
mhm,
another part of the city. So yes,
mhm,
my wife is working. She works with General Mills India, and she is into food sector. She's a
mhm.
senior research scientist with General Mills. So she's also occupied, and I think I would say post-COVID life has changed completely. Where when I go
Yes.
back home, I still find her stick glued to her place, and her calls, because they move with the US timing, goes on till late. So yeah, I do meditation. I learn, and I reading has become a good hobby for me. And I pass my time. I am a gardener also by hobby, I should say. So I spend a lot of time with my plants, and yeah, this is how my time passes now. So it's a new dimension that has
Super.
opened up post COVID, I should say.
Trust me, a lot of us who will actually while away time sitting in front of Netflixes and the Hotstars. So I'm really glad that you are blessed with the childlike streak within you. You don't need someone else to
No,
have that.
I
So
sort of, I
that's
think
a
it's been 1.5 years I have watched TV. Matlab, somehow,
oh my
I
God.
don't relate with Netflix and Amazon now. I was a couch potato at one point of time. We never used to miss a movie every Friday. Me and my wife used to go grab a movie show. But somehow from last
Mhm.
post-COVID, I should say, something new has struck me. So I'm not glued to TV anymore.
So what's the advantage that you see? Because this is so difficult for us, if you ask me, to move on to that. How did that happen, and what do you think is the advantage of that?
Advantage is that there are no factors in your mind and your mind is absolutely free, and I think it's all about taming and controlling the mind, I should say. The mind is always a restless monkey, so this is what
Yes.
I have learned. So as I said, it's opening a new dimension for me. It's very intriguing for me. So yeah, the mind is something which needs to be in place, and then
Wow.
everything falls in place. So
How do you do that? I think that's the biggest question.
I have started
Uh,
meditating.
mhm,
So I spend quite a lot of time with myself, exploring my inner self, I should say. And meditation
mhm.
really helps. I think there has to be some spiritual side to every human being.
True, true, true. So we also saw your other streak, which is the ability to sing and hum along. So how did that happen? Or do you sing, or it's just a hobby?
On a lighter note, I think the hunger to come to the first position in the quiz made me a singer spontaneously. No, no, jokes apart,
But I.
I used to sing in college, and
Mhm.
I love listening to songs, especially Kishore songs. And yes, music
Wow.
is closer to my heart, and it, really relieves you of the stress. So
Mhm.
yeah, music is something natural which comes. So that was how it,
So I think
you know.
yeah. So I think it's a very good idea to maybe look forward for another interaction sometime. But as of now, for this interaction, let's leave our audiences with a note from one of the songs that inspires you, or that is your life song.
Oh my God,
Takes
no, this was not part of the engagement session.
Yeah, it does say leaders talk, but leaders also can sing, right?
Okay. जिंदगी कैसी है पहेली हाय, कभी हंसाए कभी ये रुलाए, जिंदगी कैसी है पहेली हाय. Yeah, that's it.
Wow, superb, superb. Thank you so much.
My
And
pleasure, my
this is a
pleasure.
very inspiring song from a very inspiring movie, Anand, a person who believes in happiness in all the given situations. He finds out joy, and I think here we have a person who really reminds us of that movie. That come whatever, how many difficulties you have in life, how many challenges you have in life, come whatever happens, you never stop finding joy. And that's something which we saw. We always knew Shyam Gupta from the private brand, but today we knew about the brand called Shyam Gupta. It was such an amazing pleasure to talk to you, Shyam, and really, really very inspiring talking to you. We look forward
My
for
pleasure, Saurabh.
so many sessions. We look forward for many more sessions going forward, and I'm sure that you will pass on this recording to your colleagues also who missed this part. But personally, on my side, thank you so much, Sham. It's good
Thank
to
you
know
for the
you.
kind words, and it's my pleasure, Saurabh. Thank you, Ritika. Thank you, Kapila, and thank you, everyone, for being a patient audience.
Thank you, everyone. This is Saurabh Deshpande signing off from Leaders Talk. Thank you. Have a lovely day.